All right. Welcome back to the Backseat View, listener, or for the first time, whatever it is. We did record in the past week. Not that anybody cares, but I was having my troubles, so we took our time. It was mostly my fault. By the way, I want to remind anybody watching before we start, the video of the podcast is available on YouTube if you enjoy seeing things along with the hearing of things. Anyways, roll the intro. All right, welcome back to the Backseat View. It's episode 31. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to jump right into it. All right. By the way, just want to mention, I've been getting the feeling and the idea that people are not taking the facts that I say seriously. So I felt the need to flex my title. I am Dr. Professor Gianni. I have a lab coat on, Alicia. You're gonna deny it? Fuck you. Yeah. Fuck you. All right, listen. Now we're gonna talk nothing but facts from here to like every other episode for the rest of eternity. All right, until the end of the cosmos, and probably even beyond that. Now, I want to tell this story because this is exciting to me. My my mom, who I haven't really given too much background on. Oh shit! The beginning of the podcast is gonna have my AC in the background, but I just fixed it luckily. So my mom, I haven't given much background on her in this podcast, but we've definitely had our conflicts and everything, and just to give some context in regards to the story I'm about to tell is when I was younger, literally like 2 years ago, I started experimenting with cannabis.
I was young.
Yeah. The devil's lettuce, all right, as I hate to refer to it as. But I started smoking weed, and when my mom found out, she wasn't too happy about it. She had like such a diluted idea of what it did to you, though. Like, to me, I don't really see cannabis as like any different, like some like alcohol. Actually, I see it as kind of better than alcohol because I'm like kind of into nutrition and my health, and alcohol is like empty calories and it breaks my fast if I drink in the middle of the night. I don't like drinking alcohol. I'm about to turn 21 on Saturday, by the way, and I probably am going to drink alcohol, but just because, but anyways. So my mom, she had this diluted idea of what we did to you. From what she told me, it sounds like she thought it was like PCP or something. She thought it literally made you like tear your clothes off and run around the street naked and have desires for gay sex. Like she straight up asked me one time if I had gay sex with like one of my friends because you knew that. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Oh,
I was like, where did you get this information? Yeah, I can actually see her face reactions now. But anyways, so now it's ever since those moments, this is always the way I word it, but I notice it sounds weird. I say I plant my seeds. But yeah, that sounds weird in this context. But my meaning of that is that I kind of just plant ideas into people's heads so that, it kind of opens them to a different perspective. Like I wouldn't, because when you go into like too much detail about something, from my experience, when I go into too much detail about something, when I'm trying to explain something to someone, it like overloads them and they don't get it at all. And they actually want to resist it because they can tell that, like when people can tell that you're trying really hard to like convince them of something or persuade them, it makes them want to resist it even more. So like at that point, I was more trying to just kind of let them believe what they wanted, but I would like correct them here and there if they were like, saying things that I knew for a fact were wrong, which, I pretty much know anything that's wrong because I mean, look at my lab coat.
Big
but anyways,
brain.
Yeah. Anyways, so my mom the other day, after
Did she do it on accident?
years, No, listen. Hey, and they don't even know. Well, I mean, I guess they know where this is going if you're listening. But after 2 years of just like slowly opening her up to just the idea of it, eventually she and by the way, my intent was never to get her to smoke it or to try it, but it was just to have her understand that it's not as bad as she initially thought, where, you know, you tear your clothes off and run around the streets naked and have gay sex with your friends. Now, she actually came up to me and she had like a little box of like CBD cigarettes. And if you don't know, oh God, Cade's and the homies. Good thing we came in this room. Yeah. Shit. Anyways, so if you don't know, CBD is pretty much the other ingredient isn't the word, but it's the other thing in cannabis, right? It's CBD and THC. They're the two main components in it. And the THC is what gets you high. The CBD just kind of has
that's what's used
some
for more medical
pretty
practice.
What?
They use CBD in more of the medical stuff.
Yeah, it actually has a lot of good medical benefits, and it's not psychoactive. Like, it won't make you exit this headspace that you're used to, you know, which is what THC does. So she bought these CBD cigarettes, and you know, it has like the marijuana plant on it, like a label. So I guess she thought it was the real deal, and she thought it was legal or something. It is legal, by the way, medically. And
probably will be legal in Florida eventually.
Yeah, probably eventually. I mean, it's probably going to be legal everywhere.
I think Florida's going to be one of the last states just because we got a lot of old souls, but I think it'll happen eventually.
Well, I mean, a lot of old people are into it actually, so you never know. But anyways, so she shows me this and she's like, is this it? And like, that's what she said to me. She's like, is this it? And I'm just like, well, I read it and it says CBD. I'm like, no, not really. This is the other part. It's like from the same flower, but it's not gonna get you high if that's what you're looking for. And she seemed a little disappointed. And then she was like, you want to smoke one with me? And I was just like, okay. I mean, I didn't think that was gonna go to the other thing, right? But then eventually,
don't know what's going on, so.
As we were smoking the CBD cigarettes outside, we were just talking, and she was like asking me a bunch of questions about it and like how, like what the differences are and stuff, and what the usual prices are and how it affects you and whatnot. And then eventually, she asked me if I had any, if I remember correctly, and she, you know, I told her, I'm like, yeah, of course I do, you know, and she was like, come bring some. And I was like, oh, fuck. Like, what?
She never rat you out to the police. You just did it?
I don't think anybody listening to this is going to understand it to the full magnitude of like what it is unless they know my mom and everything that I've experienced living with her for a long time and her opinions and just the way she is. Now listen, when
I'm surprised.
Dude, it's not even just
I know a decent amount.
Yeah. It's not even just like oh, she tried it. It was like it just blows my mind, honestly.
Oh wait, continue.
But here's here's where it goes. Like, so she only took a single hit, all right? But
just kidding.
well, I mean, I think I only gave her like one hit worth, because usually when your tolerance is at 0, one hit will do enough for you. But the thing with weed is you have to inhale it. You have to bring it into your lungs. And usually people that smoke cigarettes, I think they just hold it in their mouth. I don't know. I don't smoke cigarettes. But with weed, you have to inhale it for it to enter your bloodstream and for you to experience the effects. Mm. You know, it's like with alcohol, you don't just hold the liquor in your mouth and then spit it back out.
Swish it around like mouthwash.
Yeah. So anyways, so she kind of fucked up the inhaling part, but usually even people that fuck it up a little bit, like if they got even a little bit in, it'll get them high. And at first I didn't think she took a good enough hit to really experience anything, but I have never had a conversation with her where she was as engaged with me as she was there. Like, she's usually the type of person that waits for her turn to talk in the conversation and is completely ignoring everything you're saying. Kind of like with me and you on this podcast, like when you're blabbering about Hogwarts or something. Now, she was just so tuned in, and she was asking questions, and she was genuinely curious about these things. And I'd never seen her in this mode in her head where she's like actually listening to me. Like, I actually felt like connected with her for once.
Sad, actually.
No, like, it was great. It was great because my whole life I just always feel so fucking misunderstood by her. And then for once it's like, and dude, I don't even want to go into all the detail of the stuff we talked about after that, because eventually we left like the conversation about marijuana and we just got into some really deep conversation, and it was absolutely incredible. Like, I came back to the computer and I just told all the boys, because they were all here just like waiting for some reason. I didn't even.
Wait, was that that time that you were gone forever? Because I came in.
It was very recent.
And Ethan was like, Gianni's talking to his mom.
Yeah. That was it.
Because I waited in here for you too, but you took so long. I was like, well, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, when I came back, I saw you were in here, but you were muted, and then I had to go again because I just came back because that was when she told me like she wanted me to get it and she wanted to try it. But yeah, that was the story, and honestly, it was a beautiful thing, and I'm very Huh?
Has she said anything to you about it since?
No, not really, but
it's a good step.
Dude, Cade is so funny because he just like forms the craziest conclusions. Like, he genuinely he asked me the next morning, he's just like, so is your mom a stoner now? Like, does she want more weed? Did she ask you to hook her up? I'm like, bro, like, she tried it once. You think you really think people are just gonna flip on it like that?
Right.
Like, not even I was like that when I tried it. Oh, you know what story I've never told? The first time I smoked weed, which is do you remember this story? Did I ever tell it to you?
I think you have, but I'm really bad at remembering things. So if you continue to tell the story, I'll probably catch on and remember.
Should I tell it right now?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't think there's any problem.
We already have this cannabis themed episode, so I guess.
And I don't know much about that, so that's all you. I'm just moral support.
This is super. Yeah, sure.
I've never done it, so.
Yeah. Now, I want to preface this story by just mentioning that this was really a stupid idea, and nobody should do what I did here, all right? Because this was just plain dumb. Okay, so I remember it was my 18th birthday, and I wanted to try it for the first time because I had friends who were into it, and initially I didn't even have any idea of like what it did to you, so I started like going on the internet and like learning a lot about it because I'm just like that. Like, I don't really. Huh?
First time. Where'd you get it? A friend?
Yeah. Dude, it was such a struggle to get it the first time too, and it was so stupid the solution that I ended up taking, because I was calling my friends who I knew were like into that, and but they had fucking moved already because they were from high school and they had graduated. Like, I knew them my junior year when they were seniors, and they like moved to college or whatever the fuck. And I remember, God, this is so the friend that I called, he had moved to North Carolina. He's like, oh, I think I still have a friend who's selling. I'm gonna contact him. He sends me his number, and dude, I'm like contacting him, and I'm like texting this dude, and the dude, I could just tell that this guy was like just not a good drug dealer. All right, just this guy was so high on his own supply, because when I would call him or anything or text him, it would take forever to get a reply. You know that thing when somebody sends you a message, they just sent it, you immediately respond, and then they don't answer you for like half an hour or something. Do you know this? You do that. What do you mean?
Me? Do
you see the lab coat?
You know what?
What? The authority? Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna go look. And see who does it more. You keep telling your story, and I'll come back on this.
Okay. Bet. Now, so this guy, he was like triggering the shit out of me, and he was just being difficult. And eventually, I just started scouring the internet, the dumbest place to look, because it could have easily been filled with like traps from like law enforcement or something, right? And I remember eventually I found some random email of some guy who said he was selling in where I live, and that just eye contact with your cat. But
Yeah, you can
so I emailed the dude, and he's just like he lives to like an hour and a half from me, and I'm just like, fuck, am I really about to drive this far to try weed for the first time? Like, this feels a little ridiculous. And I said, fuck it, I did it anyways. I skipped school and I drove all the way. Well, I'm not going to say where, but I drove like an hour and 45 minutes to get this. And I was super nervous too. I had no idea what the guy looked like or anything. And
I know this part.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, it's going to be some like fucking just like super burly, aggressive dude who's just like, he's expecting me to do like the fucking the trade-off where they just do it in one like handshake, you know what I'm talking about, to make it like very. I'm like, bro, I don't know if I'm ready for this. No, dude, it was like it was some Swedish guy, like super white, blonde hair, blue eyes, very polite.
Accent?
Yeah, very, very like very foreign accent. Like, I'm pretty sure he was Swedish. Like, I'm just assuming, but I'm pretty sure he was Swedish. And the dude, oh man, I mean, I ended up buying from that guy several times, and he was kind of loaded. I mean, he drove like a fucking a Benz SUV, super nice. And I went in it once, and he let me come to his house once. And the dude was like a genuinely like just down to earth guy. Like, I remember when the Parkland shooting had just happened, he was just like, man, did you hear about that shooting in the school? And I'm just like, yeah, like I did. That's crazy. He's just like, that's absolutely terrible. Like, I'm so shattered over that. And I'm like, damn. Thanks for the quarter, you know? and he's like, and I'm like drive it away. But no. So this guy, the very first time, he had me meet him at a McDonald's, and he came up to me in his bicycle, and he comes in my car, and I'm like in shock, because it was just not at all what I was expecting. Anyways, eventually he gives me a weed. We do it, and we do the trade.
Gives me one weed.
Yes, I'd like a single weed, please. But so he just goes, he bikes away, and I'm just like, oh shit, I got this. Like, I didn't know at all what the fuck to do at all. Like, I didn't know I should have brought something, huh?
This was the first time, yeah?
The very first time, yeah.
Okay.
And I remember, and I smoked it the very first time too, like on the same day. So it is leading to the first time I experienced it. But so I didn't know what to have or anything. Now I know it's like, bring a mason jar so it doesn't fucking smell up your whole car. You know, put it in some contained thing. But bro, it was just in there, and I was so nervous the entire time, like driving back home, that I was gonna get pulled over and that they would just smell, because it was fucking loud, bro. It was loud. And I was like, this is not a fucking game. This dude just sold me the loudest shit on the market. But and it was so stupid though. I mean, I actually wish I could still buy from that guy, because his shit was pretty like top shelf, and I trusted him, and I just liked the dude himself. Like, he was a pretty cool dude.
You can't buy from him anymore?
But he's too far. It's not worth it. Like, I would drive an hour and 45 minutes and waste all that gas and he would also charge a lot because it was like top shelf shit. But you know, I hope he's doing well wherever he is. His name was Pete the Swede.
I don't know
man.
if you should announce that. You should probably bleep that out.
Pete, how many people are named Pete? They're gonna fucking pinpoint the one. No, dude, trust me. I got a lab coat. I know what's gonna happen. Okay. Nothing. All right. Dude, I wake up tomorrow morning to an article about local man arrested. No, but for selling drugs. But anyways, I make it home, and I actually had work later that day. So I make it home, and I had already set up like this little thing to smoke it out of that Caleb actually taught me how to do. I made like a bong out of like a water bottle, a Fiji bottle.
remember
I
you
drilled like a hole into it and shit. Yeah. And man, I was just so stupid in general with like the things. Like I didn't know how strong the smell was gonna be. Like before I picked it up, I didn't know that like when you smoke it, it lingers for a while, so I shouldn't do it indoors. And I was just being real dumb about it. And I remember I had work, but I was like, it was gonna be like a really late shift on like a Thursday or something. It was when you were working at
that ice cream place, right?
It was, yeah. I used to work at an ice cream place called Sloan's. Yep. And this was when I was working at one of the very small locations, and it was going to be a very slow day, so I figured, fuck it. And I really didn't think things through, because it's like my mind kind of just like went like, oh, I'm not doing anything at work anyways. Might as well just do this thing I've never experienced before. And I totally forgot about the fact that I had to drive to work too. I was like, so I fucking smoke it. And I remember I was on a call with like, I think Ethan and Isaiah. I know Isaiah was there for a fact, but I don't know who the other person was. It was either Ethan or Diego. Yeah, no, it wasn't you. But I remember like staring at my eyes, and it felt like they were fucking. Honestly, this was like some shit where I feel like I was just like, a lot of it was psychological. Like I definitely was experiencing things, but like the headspace that you go into. But it's like I was staring at my. No, I mean, well, I don't really remember, to be honest. But I remember staring at myself in the mirror, and it felt like my eyes were closing by themselves, and I was like, oh fuck. And I remember I kept grabbing my keys and walking back between the door and my room, because I was like on the phone with whoever and Isaiah. And I was like, dude, I have to go to work. And they're like, no, dude, just call off. It's going to be fine. Just call off. And I'm just like, no, dude, there's like one person working there, and I'm the only person who can work today. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And dude, I drive there. Like I get in my car and I just start driving there, and I fucking made it okay. And I had a great rest of the night. And it was like, it was a vibe, but it was super stupid. Oh, she bit you?
She bit my toe.
But yeah, it was a very stupid. It's one of those things where in my head it's so funny to me that I did that, and that it didn't like, it didn't go bad, but it's like it could have easily.
Yeah,
I could have fucking gotten into a car accident or some shit,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think you should drive and take that or do that.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, it was that was my first experience getting high, and I remember it was very nice. Like once I got to work and everything was just chill, because it was a very slow day, I was just zoned the fuck out, just like thinking about shit and hearing the music and stuff. I don't think whoever it was at the time knew, because I don't. The kind of person I was like at work at the time, like they would have never expected. I remember the first time they found out that I smoked. And by the way, everybody at that job smoked. Like I was probably the last person to start smoking there, like cannabis. But I remember one time I used to do such dumb shit. I have so many weed stories, I can't tell them all on this episode, but
I know you got.
It's like
8 minutes.
Yeah, nah, 7. Exactly.
My bad.
So, but yeah, maybe I'll tell like all the fucking as many stories as I have when 420 comes around. Yeah.
You should do that episode by yourself, because I don't got any of that kind of stuff.
No, I'll probably bring in some other stoners.
Oh, yeah.
So you don't have to.
Ethan or
you
Kate.
could be there, and we'll just give you a soundboard or something, just to play sound effects.
I want to play the bonk sound. Bonk.
You would probably like fucking add the screamer thing and just freak all of us out. But yeah, that was my first experience with weed, and
it was an adventure.
Yeah, it was quite. It felt like it was like a thrilling moment. Honestly, it's one of those memories that not proud of it, but I definitely cherish it, because it's just like it's so funny.
It's one to tell the kids.
Luckily nothing went wrong. But yeah, just a reminder, don't do what the fuck I
did. Don't do weeds and drive, please.
Yeah, just do the weed. No, if it's legal in your state, and it's it's totally legal here. Yeah.
Since we only
Okay.
have so much time left, I do want to make it clear that we both do that. I checked with the phone.
We both do what?
With the phone where we don't answer for like ever.
Oh.
But in my
we both
defense,
do it?
I only went back so far, but I found 3 from you and 2 from me. And one of mine, in my defense, you texted me at 8 in the morning, and I am not awake at 8 in the morning.
No. But wait.
I answered you at
there's
12.
a difference, though.
I answered you at 12.
There's a difference. Wait, what are you fucking talking about? Hold on.
I'm gonna. hold
Nah.
on. So you never answer my TikToks, which, alright, that's understandable.
Okay, fuck
but...
your TikToks, honestly. And honestly, sometimes I laugh at the TikToks, but no. You know what
Look,
happens
the
sometimes?
one where you sent me September 30th, 2020 podcast day. You said at 8:21 a.m. and at 12:30.
That's not even that early. That's not even that early.
I'm not awake then.
Okay, yeah, okay. I respect. I mean, you know what happens sometimes too is you'll send me a text and I won't read it until the morning, like when I wake up or whatever, or until after I'm done with my routine in the morning or whatever it is. Or sometimes I read it in bed, but then I get my day started and I forget about it. And I don't have the notification anymore, so it's like
That's
not
all right.
reminding me.
I don't expect you to always answer. I'm a lot worse at answering now because I did that whole thing to my phone where you like change what the front looks like. Like, hold on, I'll show you. Like I have My Hero
let me see.
Academia as like all my stuff. It's kind of hard to see.
Ah.
So it doesn't give me a notification when I have a message because it's like, it's not the original app thing. So sometimes I don't even know I have a text message at this point.
All right. Well, should we close it? I actually
Yeah.
had some other stuff I wanted to talk about,
we can
but
save
I
that for
guess
the next
we'll do
one.
it. Yeah, we'll save it for the next one. All right, everyone, or one person, or whoever's listening. All right. Thank you so much for making it to the end. Check out our links down below, our socials, and whatever else is down there. I forget, and like and subscribe. Follow us on the other platforms. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, please. Tell your friends if you think they'd be interested. Have a great rest of your day. Stay hydrated and get those 8 hours of sleep. This is Dr. Professor Gianni, PhD, by the way. And that's a double entendre. Think about that. Here's my lab coat one last time. Very fresh. And
I'm just Alicia.
Okay, she's just
Alicia.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.